Welcome to the bold analysis. In my previous videos asking what is the mood where you are, and of course I promised that I will come back to Kalonzo Musyoka's story. The latest development, I don't know whether it has changed the political terrain, but I think in the fullness of time we shall find out the impact of Kalonzo Musyoka in Azimio la Umoja campaigns, because we know in terms of numbers, of course, votes have been physical, tangible votes have been added in Raila Odinga's basket. When I analyzed that the position of chief minister was reserved for Kalonzo Musyoka, and there was nowhere else he would get it, some people challenged me saying that he could still make an option. But I analyzed, and that has been vindicated, that he had to take that position. Question, I just want to ask some two questions. One, I have realized that in social media, Kenya Kwanza leaders are bitter with Kalonzo Musyoka, and that onslaught is led by Oscar Sudi. That will be the least person to, of course, lecture Kalonzo. But there are quite a number. If you check online, you will realize that they are trolling Kalonzo Musyoka's decision to go back to Azimio la Umoja. And let's just look at it fundamentally, or rather holistically, what is the impact. I like Mutahi Ngunyi because he is one person that drives narratives. For people who understand bottom-up, that narrative was driven by Mutahi Ngunyi. He shared something in his Twitter page, and that was just trying to open up, that has just opened my mind on my analysis on this. Mutahi Ngunyi is saying in Twitter, when Raila was made Prime Minister, he made the position bigger than life. Now that Kalonzo Musyoka has accepted to be Chief Minister, he should do the same. We must refer to him as the Right Honorable Chief Minister, then later as the 6th President of Kenya. Bravo, big brother. Okay, two things. One is the 6th President. I want you to note that. Secondly is that now that Kalonzo accepted, he should do the same. Do the same is he should also make the position bigger. Because through that position, he can re-engineer, or rather he can reinvent himself in the political scene after Raila Odinga presidency. When? I don't know if they say when or if. But let's say if they form the next government. That is my question number two. Question number two is what this drives here is, what do you think are the benefits of Kalonzo Musyoka's future working with Raila Odinga? If you follow my analysis, I once analyzed that there is one aspect that Raila has. Raila has his own fan base. So when you come, you just inherit. You can see what the kind of smooth campaigns that Raila-Karua is having in the country. Raila-Karua is campaigning everywhere alone, and she's just receiving because she's enjoying structures. One of the things that Raila got right in this election is to put up structures. They're really structures. From the Azimio la Umoja, Azimio la Umoja Council. You also have the presidential secretariat team. There is the political parties. There is the think tanks. There is also a team that is being coordinated from the government side. There is a team that is now under President Uhuru Kenyatta. And these are structures that are making work easier for him. And Kalonzo has actually inherited these structures. What is the benefit? One, and just following this tweet, there is something that Kalonzo has. Kalonzo is back in Raila Odinga's succession plan. I will not delve much on this because Raila Odinga's succession plan starts from this general election. And if Raila wins, if Azimio la Umoja, when Azimio la Umoja form government, then in 2027, there are going to be two successions. In Raila Odinga, Raila Odinga will be exiting the stage, and exiting the stage, there will be a Raila Odinga succession. One of the most difficult successions I can say in this country will be Raila Odinga succession, because Luo nation will be looking for someone. The country will also be looking for someone in the stature of Raila Odinga. And politics of this country are really going to change. Now, because that succession will be there will also be another succession of Uhuru succession. Because when Azimio forms government, ODM is there, Wiper is there, and Jubilee Party is there. Jubilee Party is President Uhuru Kenyatta. So Uhuru Kenyatta is also going to be part of that succession. These two successions in 2027 will not just need one candidate. Martha-Karua is already there by default. Gideon Moi is there. Now, if Kalonzo's out, but he could not be it. But now that he's part of around Raila Odinga, he's part of that succession politics. And that is why, and that is what Mutahi Ngunyi was trying to allude to. As to how this will propel him to presidency, or how this will play out, it is a test of time. 2, establish a center of power within government if Raila forms, if they win the presidency, if they win the elections. This is what I really envision, that Kalonzo Musyoka is a chief minister. And what Raila did in the Grand Coalition government, Raila formed a center of power away from Mwai Kibaki. Because if you look at during the Mwai Kibaki, during that Grand Coalition, the government had come together, so there was no opposition. Because of that breach and there is a bit of that opposition, he could easily jumble and pick one from the other side, pick one from this side, and just make a formidable team to face off in the 2022 elections. Now, what Kalonzo Musyoka will have to do is he must establish another center of power within government. And this box is ticked for him because of coming back to Raila. This is the truth, that now there are Raila supporters or other leaders that have soft spot for Raila that will now embrace Raila. They will now embrace Kalonzo Musyoka, especially the ones maybe from Coast. They will, Nairobi, they'll most likely embrace Kalonzo Musyoka. If you look at Nairobi, the deputy governor is from his place. The deputy governor too, I get is from Kabani. So this center of power will help him to again reinvent his political future. And that is why that position is very critical. Because again, apart from the chief minister, Wiper Party or under him is going to forward some other 4 names to the cabinet. These members that have been taken to the cabinet most probably will be receiving shots or rather receiving instructions from Kalonzo Musyoka, special instructions. The other is boosting the party strength. That box is also ticked for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, because if you watched at the rally that was in Mukuru kwa Njenga, the whole Wiper crew was there. And if you refer to one of my analysis, I mentioned that one of the conditions that Kalonzo that will help Kalonzo to reintegrate with Azimio well is to whip his troops back to Azimio, all of them, so that the perception that they've gotten there will sink to the villages of the 3 Ukambani counties. Now, this is going to boost his party, because now even in Nairobi or in Nyamira, in Mombasa, if he's going to field a candidate, they are going to find it easy. He's still in the level playing field to that of NASA of 2017. But without this, he would actually crash out of, the party would be weak. Lastly, Kalonzo, Raila, Martha-Karua being the 3 faces in that Raila-Karua ticket helps Azimio la Umoja to disassociate from the challenges of Jubilee government. Jubilee government, everyone else is struggling to disassociate with what it is. And that's why William Ruto will always find an opportunity to maybe oppose and poke holes on what Uhuru has done or Uhuru has not done. But if you look at Azimio side, they're not so much into attacking Uhuru, but they just want to disassociate and say that despite the fact that Uhuru worked, but we have our new way of doing things. Now, with Raila, Kalonzo, and Mutahi, that ticket first, it's a clean one. If people are saying Kalonzo is also another clean pair of hands, and it will also help them to be people of their own. And that is why I agree with people who advised President Uhuru Kenyatta to shun the campaigns, so that people will not be seen as then part of the problem that is currently happening in the Jubilee administration. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my 5 or rather 4 boxes that are ticked for Kalonzo Musyoka working with Raila Odinga. I want to read in the comment section, what do you think on, what can you add into this?